Hello everyone, I'm back today with a new process video. This is part of my Double Trouble series, so I'm working on a 2-page 12 by 12 layout, and I'm still working through photos from my husband's trip to Utah. So it's lots of outdoorsy hiking, rock formations, mountains, that kind of thing. So you can kind of see that's what I have again. I did pick out some scraps of paper I had, and I think this was actually a pack that was called Oxide, if I remember correctly. So it actually looks like rusty kind of, but I thought it works with these color schemes here, all the kind of bluish there, the green, definitely the orange, and so I'm going to use it. I know I need some other things in here. I really want a title on this page, and so I have to figure out how I'm going to work that in because I just don't know yet. And it needs something to break up all the orange, but I don't know what that is yet. But this is what I'm starting with here. So I have how many photos? I have 6 photos and these strips of scrap paper. And then I know I need to cut off the bottom here, and that's really all I have to start with. So I'm going to trim off the branding strips and maybe figure out some photo placement, and then I'll be back with you. So I think I have my placement pretty much figured out here. I used the strips at the bottom, and those will be even. They'll match up across from each other when I actually adhere everything. And then I think this is the general placement. These are a little too wide here, so I'm gonna have to trim one of these, probably this one, to get it to fit better on the 12 by 12. So I will do that. And then when I'm looking at this, I'm wondering if I need a pocket card here, because it's blank, obviously, and I think I'm going to do title here. That's a perfect spot for it. But I think I also need some more blue or white. I have a lot of green and orange, but not a whole lot of blue and white. Blue in opposite corners, which I like, and then a little bit of white, but just, I don't know. It seems very dark right now, and so I think maybe adding in that pop of blue or white will really help pull the color scheme together. So I'm going to work on that as well. So I need to trim one of these photos, get everything adhered, and then I'll go on to the title, the pocket card, and whatever else I need. I have actually decided to ink the edges of this scrap paper that I'm using. I think it'll give it a nice definition against that green background. So even though it's very subtle, I do think that it'll work. It'll help bring everything together. And this is the one I'm choosing to use here. It's Colorbox. It's the Chestnut Roan. It's the chalk ink, and I've used this a ton. I think I have 3 more of these. I'm hoarding them for when this runs out, because it tends to be my go-to ink whenever I just need kind of that neutral brown tone on something to have definition. So that's why I went with that one. Now I'll actually glue everything down and then move on. All right, I've adhered everything to the pages here, and I went into my stash of pocket cards to see what I could find that might work here. And I think I'm going to use this one. It says Explorer Log, and it leaves plenty of room for journaling, but if my husband decides he doesn't want to journal on this page, I could easily put a sticker in there or something, or just jazz it up somehow. So I think it'll be okay. Ooh, well, when I see it like that, nope, that one needs ink too. So I'll do that quickly and just see how it looks. I do like that little definition around the edges. Let's see. Yep, that's a little better, I think. All right. Yeah, I like that better. So I will now put that on as well. Then I'm going to move on to trying to find a title for over here, and then I do think I need some little embellishments or word strips or something else to liven this up, because it feels kind of flat to me. So those are the things I'll be working on next. So remember when I said I wanted to bring in blue or white when I was thinking about a title or a pocket card? Well, I got the blue over here and some white too. I mean, most of it'll get covered up by journeying probably, but I also figured out what to do for my title. Sorry, my heat just kicked on if you could hear that. I'm very close to the furnace, so sorry about that. So as I was saying, I figured out what I'm going to do for my title. I wanted to bring in some of the white to brighten up the layout. So I found this sticker that says Happy Hiking, I put it on a 12-inch piece of cardstock here, so it would just go all the way across the top. And then I inked the edges the same way that I did with this paper and with the pocket card, journaling card there. And so that will sit just like that, which I like. I think it does help, and it balances out, you know, the white, since these are diagonal. So that works. Then I think I'm going to go in my stash and try to find some brads or eyelets. I have so many left in my stash that don't get used. So I'm really on this kick of trying to incorporate that stuff. And I know eyelets and brads are not like the in thing like they used to be, but I have them. They're just sitting around. So I was thinking, this is so blank on either side here that I could put brads or eyelets in there, and it will also help bring in more color. So kill two birds with one stone, as it were. So I'm going to do that next. I've made the holes that I want to use. I've decided to use eyelets, and these are the ones I'm using. I wish I could say that I remember who makes these. I can't. I've had them forever, but they're just kind of a lighter blue that I think will match with this card. And when I set my eyelets, I use a crocodile, so I actually use that to make the holes. I just use the 1/8 hole, line it up correctly, and there's a whole way to do that on this tool. If you've never used one, it's fantastic. So I did all that already, and now I'm just going to set the eyelet. I have these pieces set for a 1/8 eyelet already. So if you've never seen this done, you just take the eyelet, you actually do it upside down. It seems kind of weird when you do it, but it works. So that's how the eyelet sits in there. Hopefully you can see that. And then you actually have to turn your page upside down. And you put it over the hole where you want the eyelet set, which is kind of the challenging part, to get that all in there. Make sure it's lined up. Yeah. Okay. There we go. And then you just have to give it a good squeeze. And there you go. There's the eyelet set in there. So I have 3 more to do on this page, so I will do that, and then I'll be back with you. All of the eyelets are now set, and I do think that that helps with the overall design. Now I'm going to go on the hunt for maybe some stickers and some phrases, something that will work to sort of sprinkle in around the layout just to add some more dimension and some more visual interest. I went into my stash of phrases and I found some that I think will work, and it's kind of one each for all the colors. So I have green, orange, and blue. And I think I'm going to do over here. There's a lot of dead space down here, so that'll help with that. And then I think I'm going to do our journey on that one. And then this is a darker blue, but I like it because it's closer to this photo, whereas this is a little bit lighter, so it brings in that darker blue. And I think that I'm going to overlap it just a little bit right here so that it mimics the overlapped photo on this side. So I will put all of those on there. So I have put on all of the phrases. For these two, I actually decided to ink them in the same brown ink just to bring them out a little bit more. This one's so dark, doesn't need it, so I left that alone. But once I had it down, I was looking at the layout and it still felt a little flat, like kind of these blank spaces and things just weren't working for me. So I thought maybe I would try out my white Heidi Color Shine. I have it, and you can see it's very full, but I rarely use it. So I thought, well, maybe that would work. I tested it on the back. No. This is how it turned out. I don't even know if the camera will pick that up. Let's see if I can get it in better lighting. It is barely visible. Right here. I don't even know that you can see it, but needless to say, no, that's not happening. So I went to the next option, which is this one, which is an old glimmer mist I have from Tattered Angels, and it's called Terracotta, and it looks like this color. So I'm going to use this one instead and just hope that that shows up a little better. Here you can see the left hand side of the page with that terracotta on it, which I think really works a lot better. I did get a little bit on the photo here. I covered up part of it and then kind of went, oops, forgot to cover up this part, but it'll be fine. It'll dry eventually. It'll be fine. So I think I like it enough. I'm going to do the other side as well. Here is the right side with the terracotta splattering on. This isn't quite dry, so I have to be careful with how I hold it here, but hopefully you can see there's some good color along a lot of the edges there, and it does help with the overall layout design, I think. And at this point, the only other thing I think I might add is maybe a little stamping or a sticker or something. I still feel like this is kind of blank. So I will go into my stash again and see if I can find anything else. I did find in my sticker pack this little like compass sticker, and it's a little bit darker than the orange that's in here, but I think it's good enough that it'll coordinate. So I'm going to add that as well. I added the sticker right there, kind of across from the card to fill in that space a little bit. And I think that's enough. I don't want to overdo it. I'd rather have it be subtle and simplistic than overdone. So I think I'm calling this one good. Thanks for watching with me today, everybody.